Hello, hello. Thank you guys for tuning back in this week. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Courtney and I am the day of coordinator and MC with Soundwaves DJ Entertainment. This week what I want to talk about is the importance of not only a seating chart, but where to place your tables. So, with that said, without further ado, I will begin and I'm going to go right into it. So when planning where to put your tables and basically your overall event layout, there's a couple of things that you want to consider. Where you want to put your sweetheart table, where you want to put the bar, where you want to put your DJ table. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of times, couples will want to put the bar maybe outside or in another room, and then the DJ table in the ballroom. Now, of course, the DJ table needs to be in the ballroom, of course, because that's where the dancing is going to take place. But what will happen is this. If you have your bar in another room aside from the DJ table and the dance floor, you're going to be competing for guests to dance or be at the bar the whole night. And I promise you that. I've seen that many times at events, and it really, really put a hindrance on the amount of dancing. Because, again, people are going outside, to hang out by the bar or go in the hallway or of the reception area, and they're not really by the dance floor. So, Jason and I found a really, really, really good way to eliminate that. Put your DJ table in the same room as the bar. Put them pretty close together. So, for example, if DJ table is in one corner, do the bar in the other, or at least in a relatively close proximity. That way, while guests are hanging out by the bar, the music is going, people are more likely to get on the dance floor, and then when the dance floor is full, people are most likely to follow. Just kind of the way that it works. So I highly, highly recommend that. And then also, placement of your dance floor. Sometimes couples will want to maybe put the DJ table in one corner of the room and then have tables in between and then do the dance floor. You don't want to do that. Because what can happen is this, and it always seems to be that they put like the grandparents or the people that really especially don't want to hear loud music, they always seem to want to put them right between us and the dance floor, and our music during dance sessions is loud and they just seem miserable. So, to avoid that altogether, this is what you need to do. You need to make sure that you have the dance floor here. Let's say the dance floor is in the middle. And you want to have the DJ table centered with that. It could be down here, it could be up here, on the right, on the left. But you don't want any tables between the DJ table and the dance floor. This way, you're not going to have tables in between getting blasted out. We don't play music super loud throughout the whole event. Of course not. But we are going to turn it up during dance sessions. Just natural. You don't want to dance to music at a lower volume. That's not fun. So that's really important. And then last but not least, the last thing I want to talk about is a seating chart. Do you need it? Is it important? Should you do table numbers? How does that work? For me personally, I am a big advocate for taking the time to do a seating chart. And taking the time to do table numbers. Yes, it's cumbersome. Yes, it's annoying, and it really does take a lot of time. I'm not going to sugarcoat that, but it is so well worth it for your event, because what will happen is this. Most of the time at events, people get, just enough chairs for the guests that have RSVP'd. There may be 5 chairs or so that are left over, just in case you've got extra people. If you don't have assigned seating, people are weird. Sometimes they don't want to sit next to someone they don't know. If they're forced to sit at a table with a stranger, fine. But what will happen is, I'll sit here and then I'll leave a blank chair next to me and I'll put my purse in it because I don't want a stranger to sit next to me. That's simple. And then what happens is it busts up the flow. And then if every table does that, you could have 10 empty seats, which could in turn be one whole table of guests. So if that makes sense. So what will happen is, not only will you have 10 empty seats, you're going to have people coming up with a date, and they can't sit together. And they're like, where do we go? What do we do? And it just causes complete mayhem, and people get cranky, and we don't want that. So what I recommend doing is taking the time, and there's a lot of cool documents that you can use on like Wedding Wire and The Knot that will kind of help you with your seating charts. But what Jason and I did was we just went in, we did an Excel sheet, and we just entered in table 1, and then put the, strategically planned out who we wanted to sit with who. And it really worked out well. And then what we also did was we had little place cards placed on a table in the like the foyer area. And what guests would do is they'd come in, they'd find their name, and they'd have a number next to their name, and that would indicate what table they were to be seated at. And it made it super, super easy. And then this way, too, you don't have to do like a whole huge chart, because those can get expensive, unless you're creative and you can make your own. But they do get pricey. Now, let's say you're like, well, I mean, that's expensive to have place cards made for everybody or a whole seating chart like poster board. That's a lot of work. Another thing that you can do is just simply print out a card about this big and then put the table number at the top and then list what guests should be seated there. Tell them they can sit whatever seat they want to, but this is the designated table. And then essentially what my job is, as long as you tell me that that's what you're doing, I will make a formal announcement instructing guests on what to do. That way, everyone is certain to have a seat, there's no awkward empty spaces, and then dates aren't split up, and it just makes for a much better event. So I thank you guys so much for watching. Please stay tuned for next week's, upcoming video. And then also, please, I encourage you guys, again, comment, like our page. Let me know what you thought. If you found this to be helpful, or maybe you tried something at your wedding that worked really, really well for you too. So thanks guys so much for watching, and I look forward to chatting more with you next week. Bye.